Welcome to ActiveGraphs. In this demonstration we're going to look at the ActiveGraphs user interface, scattergrams and point selection. We have a dataset here that we're going to use to explore the facilities of ActiveGraphs. In this particular dataset, it's a very simple dataset to start with. We'll look at some more complicated datasets later on. The data here has 59 rows, and it has 6 different categories associated with it, or attributes, characteristics. Some of these are numeric. This is a dataset to deal with the fuel consumption of various cars. The car name or make is shown, the weight, the displacement in the engine, the mileage, the fuel consumption, and whether or not the car is regarded as being a small type or sporty, compact, medium, large or van. And so we'll use this fairly simple data set to explore the capabilities. The first graph we're going to look at is a scattergram. A scattergram plots one axis against another. Each of these represents a column. So we're plotting weight versus mileage in this particular case, and we can ordinarily see now there's already a trend. Let's just clean this up a little bit. We'll go through some of these. So this is the most basic scattergram you can have, two-dimensional scattergram, and showing a trend. Well, one of the things we can do on scattergrams is also look for regression analysis. The regression analysis here is shown at the top in this particular one. This is a reasonable relationship. Obviously, weight and mileage, we might want to look at that a slightly different way. That's a more usual way of looking at this. The independent axis is the weight of the car, and then the mileage. So the much lighter cars obviously have much better mileage. There's some variations in here. Obviously there's quite a, for the same weight here, there's quite a lot of variation. Might be interested to know what that's due to. Also there's some characteristics in here that we sort of had looked at before. So again, let's just label this maybe by the type. I'm also colouring the label by the type so it's a bit clearer to see. We can zoom in a little bit at this top end, and we can see there are some medium cars, some vans and some large cars. We'll reset the range. So there we go. So that's the basic scattergram. We're going to see various types of graphs, including pie charts, bar charts, histograms, and various other combinations of those, and how they all interact together, and how they respond to data selection and also data filtering, which is a key feature of ActiveGraphs, and we'll go through that in detail a little bit later on. The actual table here is also active. So the data gets read in. It's a CSV, separated value file, and that is a simple file that you can generate through Excel. So as long as it's in a very simple format of just rows and columns, as I said before, the columns really represent attributes. These could be things like, if you're talking about a sale of a house, this could be a postcode, how much the sale price was, how long it was on the market, how many bedrooms, whether or not it's a battle axe block, anything you can think of, and you've got data on, you can put it in here and you'll be able to explore certain relationships there are. So this is a scattergram. Some more advanced features down here I won't go into. I'll leave that up to you to explore for yourselves. So what can we do? Well, we can actually have multiple scattergrams up at any one time. Let's get another scattergram. So let's look at there's a different type of diagram. The point is here, it's up to you to sort of explore the data. This is just a sample data set for getting us going. To show the selection, if you're interested in say, oh, these are some interesting points up here, these particular ones will highlight in the graph that you selected, but they'll also highlight in other graphs. And as you can see down here, highlight that again. we're talking about a couple of sporties and a couple of large cars of having that very large level of what we call the displacement. So that will be the something to do with the engine parameters. I'm not an expert on cars at all, so I won't try and understand the relationships here. But all I can say is these two graphs are interacting with each other. You can grab a other bunch from this graph, and obviously they work together. Indeed, just to show you a little bit more there, we'll have a grid of, let's look at a few different options here. This is now producing a scattergram grid of every possible combination of those ones I picked, and again it's showing the data that was selected in the other graphs. Indeed, you can come along here and select these ones and it will show in all these graphs and everywhere else. So selection of the data sets is interactive as well within ActiveGraphs. Let's just go back to a simple diagram. So that's the basic tour of ActiveGraphs.